All right, look, we're live. This is basically a super random Q&A party that I wanted to set up. And so I hope you guys are hearing me well. Hope I got my audio set up pretty well here. Hope you can hear me. So first person in here, whoever jumps in, let me know how my audio is. But yeah, I want to do a quick live stream for you guys to kind of go over any questions and basically just start chatting with y'all. So what's up, Ben? How you doing, man? Ben A. Yeah, you got me with that because I was reading from afar. Hey, technology. Leo Queen. Hey, how you doing? Is the audio okay? Is everybody hearing me on the audio okay? That's number one. Got to make sure that's set up clutch. I got to make sure my setup is clutch. But yeah, this is a super random Q&A party. I do these in my Facebook group, but I definitely want to do one on YouTube Live for sure, to see where we get. Okay, we hear you. Good. Holler. What's up, Brittany Cox? Hey, thanks for joining. I sure appreciate you. Leo Queen, sure appreciate you. Thank you all for checking this out. So basically, I kind of wanted to run this real quick, like a regular Q&A party, like I would on Facebook in the Facebook group. So if there's anything that you guys have that was on your mind, or a specific question about recruitment, staffing, whatever, me personally, all that kind of stuff. Tipnology, you want to partner with me. Tipnology, I'm a lone wolf. I don't partner with anybody. Simple as that. I just don't partner up. Sorry. So yeah, I think I answered your question before too. So yeah, I don't do partnerships. I like to close deals, and when it's like a $10,000 check, I'd rather take 10,000 than 5,000. So I do a lot of that. So I don't really like to partner up too much, unless it's highly strategic and it's really something that's going to be very specific to, like, maybe somebody's got a client and I have a ton of really good candidates for that partnership or something. Other than that, maybe, but usually not the case. Let's see here. Yeah. So other than that, what else we got? What other questions we got? Brittany Cox, what's your favorite tool to find clients? So Brittany, I have Zoom Info. I know a lot of people aren't using Zoom Info because it's very, very expensive. However, when I started making money in recruiting years back, I bought Zoom Info, and Zoom Info is basically what I use to find a lot of my clients. So I mean, if they paid me to advertise them, I would do it in a heartbeat because they are worth their weight in gold. So right now, I think Zoom Info goes for something like 10 grand annual subscription. But Zoom Info is basically pretty much how I get a ton of my clients. Then I get my clients on referral basis. The other way I get them is basically by doing a ton of cold email, not only from Zoom Info, but also from Sales Navigator. So I'll strategically go in and look for, specific companies I want to work with, find the decision makers, hit them up on Sales Navigator, do them a cold email, and I'll use like a Chrome extension. I use Swordfish a lot. Or if I have the decision maker's name, I don't even mess with that. I just go into Zoom Info and find their direct email, because Zoom Info has 99% accurate emails. So that's my favorite tool to find clients. So let's talk Bane. Okay, let's talk a little bit about getting the first client, and do I need to have a license? All right, so listen, you don't need to have a license. It's just total, complete BS. Listen, you need to get a business license, like with your state, okay? So that's like $25. Basically, go to whatever state you're in, type in DOL, Department of Licensing, go through the list, find something that says business services and select that. Buy a business license. It's anywhere from $20 to $25. buy a business license, put your business name on it. It'll come in the mail in like two to 3 weeks, and you'll have a business license. Okay. That's all you need. Don't worry about LLCs. Don't worry about lawyers. Don't worry about any of that crap. Like, you simply need to just get started. So today's video I made about just getting clients. Like, I am emphatic about this stuff, you guys. Like, literally, people are wasting so much time. Like, Ben A, like, you could find like 1 billion clients before you get your full setup going, right? People are worried about spending $500 on a website when they can make one for $15 on Wix. People are getting their LLC for $200. I did $50,000 in revenue before I had an LLC. All right. If that tells you anything, getting your actual like full business set up, look, just get clients, and then go from there. So get a business license at least. That's that through your state. That's your first step. And then work on website. Okay. And your business email. Use G Suite. Again, G-Suite. SUITE. Basically, it's $10 a month. Gives you a business email. I think it's like $6 a month or $10 a month. It gives you a business email, so it'll be like your exact name at your staffingcompanyname.com. That way, when you do cold email a ton of clients, you'll be able to basically then, actually look legit, right? And set up a signature. Buy a logo off Fiverr. You could do all this stuff in like 2 hours, man. So like these people talking about like, I need days, I need months, I need, whatever. Forget about it. Like, look, you can set this stuff in 2 hours up and get a client like overnight. Like, send out 100 cold emails tonight. Somebody's going to respond to you tomorrow. I guarantee it. What are the Leo Queen? What are the Chrome extensions? So I search my channel, go into my channel and just search tools. And one of the videos will be all about the Chrome extensions. But one of the best ones off the hands is Swordfish, Lusha, Lusha. Another one would be Linked Helper, like Linked Helper, 2 words. Add those in. They're all paid. Okay. You don't get a free lunch. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So you might get some free credits, but they're all paid after that. So you do need to end up paying for some of this stuff. They're not just giving you data for free. Again, understand also that you get what you pay for. So sometimes it's cheap, but also, you might get 70% accuracy on the email addresses, right? Or 70% accuracy on the phone numbers, right? So really, like, I can say this because I'm all high and mighty and I've got Zoom info and I've got my whole setup going and it's all good. But ultimately, you get what you pay for, right? Like, Zoom info is like $10,000. That's why it gives you 100% like accurate emails all the time. So anyways, you can use those Chrome extensions and they'll help you out for sure. Do we need any contracts for the candidates? For the candidates to agree to data processing for the database? No, you don't need that. No, you can send them an email and say, no, here's the deal. So basically, when you engage with a candidate verbally and you find a really good candidate for a certain client, it's just a verbal agreement. It's been like this since the beginning of time, where you basically, well, this wouldn't even make sense, because if you usually put up an ad and your candidate responds to the ad, that's immediately consent to utilize their information. So holding on to their information, that's up to you. You can do that there's no law against that. Like, holding their info and following up with them on LinkedIn. I mean, that's like saying, like, are you able to, keep like emails from 10 years ago? Of course you are. They came into your email inbox. So yeah, Ben A, if you got any other questions, man, but I just want to motivate you. Just like, get started, just get going. Forget about the licenses, forget about the LLC. You don't need that stuff. Just get like a Wix website up, get a G Suite email, start cold emailing, get some clients. And then once you get some money in the bank, then you can kind of set up more systems and more stuff. Technology, I have been having trouble getting clients. Yeah, you and everybody else. So here's the deal, man. You got to invest in good quality software or systems to actually get good clients. So I have ZoomInfo, right? Gets me really good clients. If you don't have that, then you need to buy LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is $88 a month. Now, let me tell you this. They have a month-long free trial. Have you done that yet? If you're a real entrepreneur, you get resourceful. Okay. So what resourceful means, for those who don't know, is that you use what you have. You use what's around you. There's a plant right here. I don't know how I could use this, but you use what's around you, right? So you basically just, utilize any resource possible. LinkedIn Sales Navigator would be my best starting point for you. Technology. That's what I would say. It's $88 a month, but they do have a 1 month free trial. Leo Queen, and can we send the cold emails just by hand? No ZoomInfo or anything? Yeah, of course you can. So you have a cold email template. What you do is you basically find who you want to email, copy paste the template, send, copy paste send, copy paste send. That's how I can send 100 emails a night. I mean, I literally just go find the email. I have a template. And then Leo Queen, I think I've sent you these templates, right? So you go in, you find the template you want, you put in your signature, you put in your name, your company information and all that. Don't be sending my name, but send your stuff and then just send it straight over to them. And then you'll be golden. You'll be good to go. And just the deal is, the way people get tons and tons of business is by taking tons and tons of action. So whatever action you're taking right now, 10x that. Do 10 times whatever you're doing right now. That's the key. Okay, guaranteed you're going to get some results. If you 10x your action and start sending 10 more, 10 times the emails you're sending, 10 times the reach out on LinkedIn, thinking about the business 10 times as deep, you'll get there. Let's see here. Walker Malloy, how long did it take you to land your first client? How many estimated cold calls, emails? I can't even answer the second part. It took me 4 days. I went in a Facebook jobs group. This was way back in the beginning, 3 years ago. I went in a Facebook jobs group. I found an HVAC company that was looking for a secretary to hire. I looked them up on LinkedIn. I found the right person. I found their email somehow. I think I found it on their website. I emailed them a nice cold email that I wrote up myself because, sometimes you got to do stuff on the fly. So I wrote up a cold email. I said, I can place a candidate for you as secretary at 10%. And of course, they were like, yes, we'd love to do that. Let's go ahead and do that. I put up Craigslist ads. And I got tons of responses. I had to, screen about like 10 people for the position. Eventually, I hired someone. It was a $4,000 fee. It took me 4 days. So it took me probably like 10 cold emails before I actually got that deal. It was as quick as that. So Walker Malloy, the thing is, I think you might be thinking a little bit too big, too small. Think bigger. Don't think about it in terms of like, how long is it going to take me to get my first deal? Think about it in terms of like, what am I going to do after I get my first deal? Think about it like that. See how that shift makes you change the whole paradigm? Think about it in terms of like, what do I do next once I get my first deal? You already know you're going to get your first deal, right? So you got to have that up here. You're thinking too small. Think bigger. Benny. I'm just calling you Benny. How about tax registration? Isn't a requirement when you have a business license? Look, are you from the UK? I need to know. It's important for my answers because I can't help you if you're in the UK. But tax registration, it's a whole nother ballgame, and I've done a lot of videos on it. You're in Maryland. Okay, cool. So you get a business license in Maryland State. Then what you would do is just start doing business. Okay. Eventually, you're going to need something called an EIN, Employer Identification Number. That comes from the IRS. You can literally get it off of their website for free. And that's going to relate to how you do business, because basically what happens is every time you do business with a client, they're going to ask you for a form called a W-9 form. And that W-9 form is going to include your business name, your business address, and your EIN, your Employer Identification Number. This is how they keep track of who changes money and how much tax you owe. So if they pay you $10,000, they're going to put that on their books, and they need a form called W-9 from you. You can Google some of this stuff. Some like, I'm not a tax expert, so I'm not going to vouch to give out tax like expertise right now. But a lot of the stuff you can Google, and it'll be just as good. Let's see here. But yeah, taxes, you need to get a good CPA. But bottom line, set up a business license, get an LLC, get an EIN, and you should be good to go. Any tips for someone completely new to recruitment and sales? How do you ever freeze? Do you ever freeze or get anxious contacting? No, I don't. I don't, because the deal is, like, you're either going to do it or you're not, Sam's. So Sam's, like, if you're going to make the call, make it. If you're not, don't. Like, you have to eliminate the fear of rejection. Okay. Everybody has it. We all have it. Like, it's just like dating. Like, do you want to ask that girl out? Like, you're probably a little bit nervous. You probably might have some jitters, but the deal is, like, you get over it and you either ask her out or you don't. So I don't know. Do you want to make money? Make the calls. Like, do you want to, build a 6-figure recruiting agency? Hop on cold email. I mean, if you can't make phone calls, start with emails, then go to calls. I actually do 100% pretty much cold email. And so I don't really have a big deal with that. But I also come from a cold call sales background, so that stuff doesn't faze me at all. I can get on the phone with anybody. But if you do get anxious, contacting clients and stuff like that, understand that these people get phone calls like this all day long. You are one of many people they're talking to, my friend. So remember that they are, they're not worried about you calling them. Walker Malloy, I've already had 3 placements. Was just curious how long it was for you. Yeah, man. Still though, think bigger. Think bigger. 3 placements, right? That's excellent. Really good job. Like, let's make that, another 3, like, by the end of the month, right? Let's make it another 15 by the end of the year, right? Think bigger. Just think way bigger. Don't think about terms of, like, how long did it take you to get X? Just go do X. Does that make sense? Right? Think about it in terms of, like, just take action. Don't talk about the metrics of how long it took, or, how long you have to wait until you get this or that or whatever, right? Just go do it and make it happen. And it'll be all much better in your mindset, because 90% of the game is in your mindset. So going back to what Sam said, this is all in your mind. When you talk about calling up, like, a warehouse company, and you want to say, hey, I'd love to, talk to you guys about staffing and adding, additional labor, blah, 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 blah. Like, here's the deal. 90% of your block on that phone call is mental. So just don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's all in your head. And I know that's really easier said than done, but ultimately psych yourself up, man. Like, just, do like 50 jumping jacks or something before you hop on the phone, and you'll be more energized than ever. Let's see. Yeah, but Walker Malloy, you're on a really good track. Good job, man. Pamas, do you think long-term care facilities or skilled nursing facilities are a good niche? Yes, these are definitely a good niche, especially in the South. If you're in the United States, in the South, Texas, Alabama, I don't know, Arkansas, Florida, who am I missing here? I don't know, just random Midwest states, Ohio, Oklahoma, Kentucky. I mean, like the South, like the Bible Belt, For some reason, this has been an excellent niche down there, and it makes people a ton of money. Around the rest of the country, I'm not so much sure, but it's a really good niche overall. So yeah, follow that niche for sure. Cool. We got some people watching. We got a thumbs up. What's up with the one thumbs up? Can I get everybody getting a thumbs up? Come on, let's go. Like, I mean, give it some value added here. I would expect some more thumbs up. But all right, let's go. Okay, there we go. There's 3 of them. All right, cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I love answering these questions as much as you guys love asking them. So I'm really down with this. I really enjoy it. Let's see here. Leo Queen, how do you track the employees after they interview? How do you know if they are hired and stay on for the 30-day guarantee? Well, Leo Queen, you keep in contact with the candidate. So after an interview, if someone interviews at like 9 a.m., I will give them a phone call at like 2 p.m. and say, hey, Joe, how'd your interview go with John today? And I'll find out all the details, like whether John gave him like a really good recommendation or not. I don't even care if the hiring manager calls me first. I will call the actual candidate. And then I keep continuing communicating with the candidate. There's no rule that says you can't talk to the candidate the whole time. You can. This is a business. Like, you have to have a lot of phone calls, a lot of interaction. So part of that is speaking to the candidate the whole time, like talking to them, being like, hey, how's everything going over there? Is it working out well? Like, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And eventually, they'll stay, and you'll know after the 30-day period, you'll know that they're still there by still talking to them. So talk to these people, like keep open lines of communication. The hiring manager should definitely be telling you like, hey, we had to fire, so-and-so, right? But instead of that, just keep in contact with the candidate. So yeah, that's how you track your employees. And that's why you want to be really organized. I did a video on this. You want to be super organized, because if you have 5 clients and they all have 3 job orders, and you're interviewing and you're checking up on candidates and you're placing people and you're debriefing after interviews and you're doing all this jazz, right? You have to be so organized. Like you got to be on top of the ball. So what I do is I have a to-do list, and I also have a calendar, and I mark it all out. I have my own system. And then you've got your ATS, right? So whatever ATS you choose to use. Let's see. Pamas in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska, that'd be fine. Nebraska is a pretty sparse state, low population. But the thing is, you can recruit nationwide. So, in theory, here's the thing, right? It's drop staffing, okay? So for the record, again, I coined the term drop staffing. You don't have to meet people. You don't have to talk to people. I work from my home office right here. I don't talk to people. This is drop staffing. It's just like drop shipping, but people, right? So yeah, Nebraska, just start up and see how it goes. Walker Malloy, $0, Ben. He's the real MVP. Putting people on game for the independent staffing agency industry. Definitely, dude, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Walker Malloy, keep up, man. 3 placements right now. That is solid, bro. Like, keep going for sure. Like, you've got it, bro. If you're making placements, here's the deal. So I was going to do a video, or I might have mentioned this in a video, but my big thing is, like, if you prove the business model to yourself, like if you prove I grabbed a client, then I made a placement with that client. You've just proven to yourself that you can did it. What do you do next? Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. That's what happened in my first 6 months of recruiting. $100,000 in the first 6 months. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. You just keep going. And Walker Malloy, I can tell you got that. You got that sense about you. Sams, thanks for the advice, man. What's the biggest fee you've had a big shot recruiter make? I see some big ballers in 6-figure. Yeah, there's a lot of big ballers and 6-figure recruiters. The largest fee I ever took away was close to $40,000 on one deal. So $40,000 check came my way. But that's small change compared to a ton of people in six-figure recruiters. For instance, Jack Kelly, he's in New York City. Frederick Shelton. I mean, I'm not trying to call these guys out personally. Don't ask them for loans, but those guys make $100,000 a month or more. They're doing millions of dollars a year for sure, because they've just built their agency so tall, and they service a market that they can charge 25, 30% on like $200,000 salaries. Can you imagine making those types of placements? Multiple placements per month? Yeah, you're making millions of dollars a year at that point. So, yeah. So you just got to grow your agency to get to that point, basically. What's up, Stephanie? Hey, good to see you. Can you go over LinkedIn profile? How should I set it up? Stephanie, this is a funny question I always get. And honestly, there's no real way to answer it. But basically, what you really need to do is optimize your LinkedIn profile to exactly what you're doing. So your headline needs to reflect precisely that you're a recruiter, you're, a talent advisor. I use talent advisor. Say that you're, let's see, you're the founder of whatever your company name is, right? Put that in your headline. So here's the advice I give to some people. Now, some people take it a little bit too far, but go to my LinkedIn, type in Benjamin Nader, go find my LinkedIn, and throw me a recommendation if you haven't already, by the way. I know we've got that thread going on if you're in six-figure recruiters. If you're not in six-figure recruiters, the Facebook group, 100% go join the group right now. I'll approve you as soon as I finish this. But we have a thread going on right now. And if you go to my LinkedIn, check out my LinkedIn, see how I wrote it, reword some of the things that I put in my description, but you could kind of rip me off. Basically, I'm okay with that, Stephanie, if you want to do that. And Stephanie, if you want to DM me on LinkedIn, connect with me, I can give you some tips too. I'm all about that value exchange, so I can help you out. Benny, planning to do IT niches. What do you think? I think you're a genius. I think that's exactly where you should be at. That's where the most money is. I work right now in a very low fee, high volume business. So I place a lot of people for a lower fee. However, in IT, the fees are very high and you place lesser people. So for instance, you could place 2 guys and I could place 6 guys and we'd both make the same amount of money. So IT is a very good niche to be in for sure. So I would do that definitely. As long as you know the niche, like know what you sell, understand the difference between a data scientist and a software developer and a software development test engineer, or somebody doing AI and all that kind of stuff. You've got to have some real credibility if you're in IT, because understand, you better believe that you're going to talk to a hiring manager who's going to ask you some questions that you may not know the answer to. And if you don't, you're going to flop. So that's okay. Learn from your failures, fail forward, fail fast. Amazon's saying is move fast and break things. And I totally agree with that. Like, move fast, break things. That's what I did when I first started, and it worked out well. Kuka Rez, are you not too busy with your staffing agency to still do YouTube? Just asking because I'm looking to do 2 different things with my time as well. I'm a car dealer right now. This all comes down to time management, Kuka. So I manage my time very strictly. So I do it in a way that I have time for YouTube. I run my recruiting agency. I do some career consulting on the side. Career consulting, that doesn't mean recruiter consulting. I also manage a separate business for my uncle. I think I did a video on my income streams because I'm super transparent. I'm all about like radical transparency. I'll talk about anything. Like I'll tell you exactly what I made this month. You know what I mean? I don't care. But yeah, no, it's all about time management, Kuka. So take out a note on your computer or on paper and literally block off your time. Like make a to-do list, block off some time to make sure that you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Sam's, wow, the potential in recruiting is pretty insane. It's beyond insane. All you got to do is ask Frederick Shelton. It's insane. It's nuts. It's basically like, I don't know. It's like Jordan Belfort status. It's Wolf of Wall Street. It's nuts. You could have $1 million a year. You could easily have any of you watching this probably right now, if you have 2 cents of knowledge, could have $100,000 a year. Any of you with 3 cents of knowledge could have a $200,000 a year. If you are really business savvy, you could have a 300,000 plus year. But people like Frederick Shelton or Jack Kelly, those guys are, they've been in the game for so long, so that they know how to kill it, and they've built up their business really, really big. So they're doing millions a year. What do you use typically for an Indeed daily budget for an ad? Walker, that totally depends. So if I'm looking for like an admin, right, I'll put up a $5 a day budget, because I know admins, particularly where I live, like they're everywhere, and I can easily find them. So like $5 budget, easy. If I'm looking for an HVAC contractor, I'll put in like a $20 a day budget, right? And run the ad for like 3-4 days, see how it performs, right? So you've got to test, but yeah, no, it's always different with the position and the time of year. You've got to think scientifically, right? So like think of that scene from what was it, 21 or whatever, whatever they called it, or no, what was the movie? Yeah, 21, where they did the blackjack, and Zach Galifianakis has all the plus signs and all in front of his head. Think about that scene right there. Like there's so many factors, time of year, what the market looks like, what the demand looks like. Like just think about all that stuff. That's really important. And then you'll come up with a good number for your Indeed ads. Benny, who wants to partner up with me? Yeah, man. So with that kind of stuff, you can join Top Echelon, 2 words, Top Echelon. Join that network. It's a split network. It's one of the best split networks, if not the best one. And basically, I don't use it, but essentially, you can find jobs that just need recruiters. And so you can, yeah. Oh, it looks like Tripnology wants to partner up with you. Tripnology and Benny. But I'm going to be super honest with you guys, though, right now. You two don't know each other, and you've got to get to know each other. So Ben A and Tripnology, like, you don't want the blind leading the blind. So somebody's got to know what they're doing there. So whether it's one of you two, like, here's the deal. This is why I don't partner up like that with somebody, because I don't always know exactly like what they're all about. So I'm really, really all about the lone wolf status, because I know that I can make just as much money doing it by myself. Sam's, just wanted to ask how it feels to work for yourself. I'm currently in a 9-to-5 that I can't stand, and I'm currently looking to get for a way out. It's a really good question. It feels really interesting. The freedom feels super, super interesting. However, here's the deal. I've never worked harder. I've worked about 4 9-to-5 jobs over my career. And I've never worked harder than I have when I started working for myself. Never. Because the motivation to make that money for yourself, like knowing that that money is all flowing to you, it triggers this crazy thing in your brain. And basically, you know that you're essentially responsible for your entire income. And so you get really, really, really serious about it. So I'll pull 12-hour days, 13-hour days, doesn't matter. Weekends are pretty much work days for me, like whatever, like answering your questions here and stuff. Like this is like a semi-creative outlet, but I love helping people. So I'll put this out. But the freedom is amazing and it's really, really good. Here's the thing, Sams, you just got to figure out, like, can you make 1-2 placements a month? If you can do that steadily, that's going to net you like $6,000 a month. You can live, anybody can live on that. Okay. I really don't care. Unless you're living in Beverly Hills, you can live on $6,000 a month. So if you can make 1 or 2 placements a month at $3,000 a pop, which is super easy to do with like a warehouse, forklift, driver, production facility, admin, clerical, I mean, whatever, put in the work, pardon me, find the candidates, make 2 placements a month. And if you can prove the model to yourself, and if you can prove it for like 2-3 months, leave your 9-to-5. Like, here's the deal. So many people are brainwashed to think that they have to keep their 9-to-5. Let me tell you a little secret. 9-to-5s are a dime a dozen. Unemployment is at its absolute lowest, which means employers, like companies, are begging for employees, which means 2 really good things. One, if you failed miserably and crashed and burned, right, you could go back and get a 9-to-5 in like a heartbeat, like doing whatever you're doing, sales, account management, like finance, I don't know what you do. But you can get a 9-to-5 in like a heartbeat. Super easy. Don't worry about it. Don't let fear mongering or anything like that. Don't let your self-limiting beliefs, tell you can't. So that's number 1. 2 is it's really awesome for recruiting because unemployment's super, super low. So employers are begging for employees. So that's where we come in and we make a huge fee by providing them with candidates. Is it worth it? Sam's, I refuse to answer that question. Is it worth it? I don't know how to answer that question. Is it worth it for you to go into your 9-to-5 slave job every day? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I work from my bed sometimes. I work from my home office. I get to do whatever I want. I get to make as much money as I want. I get to put in as little or as much effort as I want every single day. Is it worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it. Kidding me? Do you get all of your leads from Zoom or do you get job postings, go to job postings and have a list that you go off of daily? Yeah, it's a mixture, Stephanie. So like Zoom info is just a godsend. Zoom info is amazing. So I go all over Zoom info. And then if I get bored or if I want to swap it up, I'll go to job boards, look at who's hiring on LinkedIn usually. I recommend for brand new people to go to like Yelp and look at all the companies, then go to Indeed, see which ones are hiring. That's a really good strategy. If you're absolutely green, brand new, and you want to find some clients, go through stuff like that. But I usually use Zoom info just because it's so damn easy. Tipnology says, contact me, guys. Ben is an amazing, inspirational person. God bless you. Thank you, Tipnology. I truly appreciate the sweet words. Walker Molly, how much income has your agency generated in the past month? So October, let's see, it's October 13th. The past month, in the past 30 days, or no, I don't mind you asking at all. I'm super open. So past 30 days, $25,000 in revenue, pre-tax. $25,000 in the past 30 days, pre-tax revenue, which means before I get taxed. So you could probably take $5,000 off of that, and you can call it $20,000 in profit. That's not every rolling 30 days, but that's what it was in the past 30 days. Yeah. So a bunch of warehouse people, a bunch of drivers, couple admins, 20,000 bucks. Yeah. Sam's, I'm glad I've convinced you. Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to be condescending or anything, but yeah, no, like, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. Yeah, give it everything you've got, man. Like, everything you've got, like, give it all that you've got and go for it. And here's the deal, guys. Do what I did, right? So, skim the system, okay? Do work while you're at work, all right? I literally I built my company on my iPhone, okay? I literally built the company on my iPhone. Like, I had the Indeed app, I had like notes, I like built my own like ATS CRM with Apple Notes on my iPhone at work, just sitting there, literally just setting it up because I couldn't use my work computer because then people would notice and be like, what's going on? But yeah, so go for it. So take time, while you're at work. If you work a dead end job, all you're doing is making the people above you richer. You know that, right? Simple. Time to move to Puerto Rico for the tax haven. Yep. Something like that. Yep, I know. Yes, I'm well aware there's no federal income tax there. Yeah, I'm well aware of how much money I could save. Technology says, I have a 9 to 5, want to get out of big time to build time for my kids. Right. So technology, look, you have a motivation. You've got your kids you want to spend more time with, right? That is amazing, right? Use that motivation to push you forward, right? To partner up with people, to learn how to grab new clients, to use things like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, like I said earlier, to get clients, to make money, to start making this a business, get out of your 9 to 5, spend more time with your kids. We only get one life, everybody. Like, look, you have to use it to your full potential. So yeah, that's a huge motivation. Walter, when are you going to hire in-house staff? Not till I get $500,000 a year in revenue. Not close. So not even anywhere close to that will I hire staff. And the reason being is because staff doesn't care about your business the way you do. Staff, you have to train. It'll just be a huge waste of my time. I'm a control freak. I know how to run everything in my business. And so, I could teach people, right? But that takes up some of my time. But I'd rather teach it in a mass audience like this, where people can learn from, exactly the processes and the exact steps I took, like, the specifics of like how I started my agency, how to maneuver, how to email, how to get that client, how to get that candidate, how to make the placement, how to invoice, like all these separate things. I'd rather just like talk about like on YouTube than coach people. Yep, Walter. So you made that mistake and had to fire 3 of them within 90 days. Exactly. Right. Yep. Point taken. So you had the exact same problem, right? It's just a mistake. Like, you just don't, you don't like I made a rule for myself. I said, until you hit 500,000 in revenue per year, like you're at 500 grand every year, that's when you start thinking about maybe pushing off some of the labor on somebody else. But right now I have so much control and I can do everything because I'm super efficient at it. And I'm not trying to brag, but like, I have all my processes down. So completely agree. Right. Agree. Yep. Yeah. You already know, Walter, you already know what you need to do. You already know your stuff. So you probably brought on 3 people to probably try to augment and expand and scale, my guess is. And you probably thought that it would make you a ton more money. But what you probably learned is that you had to train them and you had all this stuff and it was just garbage, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're speaking the same language, bro, for sure. So if you're not in the 6-Figure Recruiters group, bro, join it, DM me, link up, we'll be friends. It costs you money, not made you any. Exactly. Yeah. It'll cost you money. It's not going to make you any money. So it's Abby's. I hope I'm pronouncing that. It's Abby's. I've got your contract template that you sent me has been checked by a solicitor because I got a quote for okay, so you're definitely in Europe because you're using the euro sign. Checked by a solicitor because I got a quote for 450 from a solicitor, but I want to keep my costs at a minimum. I think solicitor means lawyer in Europe. Guessing. Don't know, but yeah, no, don't spend the 450 euros. Don't. You don't need to. You don't need to at all. Yeah. So okay, if it's a lawyer that wants to review it, no, don't spend the 450. They're just going to review it. It's completely sound. I've literally had like other professional recruiters review my contracts, and they're like, "This is purely sound." So I have no issue with it. I have no qualms about sending that contract out. Walter, you're in the group. It's Walter, owner of Green and Hill Associates. Okay, yeah, just PM me or something, man. Sam says, "Do you know the Craigslist equivalent in the UK? I'm trying to find something a tier below Indeed." No, I don't, but that would probably be something It's Abby's would know. Looks like that person is in the UK. It's Abby's. Do you know the equivalent of the Craigslist of the UK? I personally don't. People ask me questions all the time, and we have an international audience, which is awesome. But it's really funny because certain systems over here work really, really well, and certain systems over there are like, no way. Like Craigslist for general labor here is awesome. I don't know if it works the same way in the UK. That's it. Try Gumtree. There you go. Okay, so value added. Let's get some thumbs up. We got some value added here. We got 8 thumbs up and like 15 people watching, tons of questions. I want like, geez, come on, let's go. So, all right. I'm only joking, but seriously, it would be cool because I think this ranks the YouTube algorithm up a bunch for the channel. And if you guys are watching, I would truly appreciate it if you smash that thumbs up button for the YouTube live, because I think it does send it out to everybody, and it does let everybody know I'm doing a live, which is really cool. So if you could just hit that would be awesome. Let's see. Yep, there you go. Yeah, so we've got some value added. So It's Abby's has answered that question. That's good. Really good. Yeah, like collaboration, really good collaboration amongst people is super cool. So if you have a question, that's why the Six Figure Recruiters Facebook group exists, because like, Sam's, you could have thrown that question in there and a UK recruiter would have answered it in a second. So here's the thing, don't be afraid. This is another entrepreneur thing. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Move fast, break things, fail fast, but fail forward and always get up, right? So that's the way a real entrepreneur operates. So like, you shouldn't have to be convinced, Sams, that it's ready to take a move. You know what I mean? Like, you should just know, like, hey, I got to take a move, man. I got to get going. I need to get freedom and all that stuff. Yeah. Cheers, man. Yeah. Right. So it's that entrepreneur mindset. You're a self-starter, like you see that all the time in job descriptions. What they mean is just somebody who does it on their own without being told. And that's super important. So like, if you're doing something on your own without being told, you're a self-starter, which is really good. Bene, could you please revise from start to the end of the process once so that we can ask some questions, please? Yeah, I'll do that really, really simply, really, really quick. And then I'm going to hop off here for dinner because I'm going to have an early dinner because I'm going to get up at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. But yeah, okay. So you want basically a revision of what this looks like, staffing, right? So here's how it works. Essentially, what you do is you would set up a business license. You would create a name for your company. This should take you like a day and a half. Just don't let it take longer than a day and a half. Research your name online, make sure it's not taken, come up with the name. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. So come up with a business name, get a business license, optimize your LinkedIn page. You're going to use this a lot. So people are going to view your LinkedIn page. Make sure it says founder, whatever your company name is, recruiting for such and such and such, blah, 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 blah. Pick a niche. Try to pick a niche, okay? My niche is general labor. It's easy fruit. I recommend it to a lot of people. So like warehouse, drivers, forklift people, admins, clerical. General labor is a really easy niche, right? So focus on those companies. So what you would do is, first things first, you want to go get clients. This is number one. You literally will not get anywhere without getting clients. So what you need to do is go out and go get Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. Or if you don't have it, well, there's a month-long free trial, people. So 30 days of Sales Navigator is free. But on top of that, what you can also do is go to Indeed.com and look at search warehouse in Liverpool or warehouse in Philadelphia, wherever you're at, right? Because I'm talking to a multinational audience. Then search all the jobs that they're offering, right? You know those companies are hiring. So here's what you do now. You look at the company, you go to that company's website, you look at their about section or you look at anything about them, and you figure out an email or a contact or something at that company, whether it's like who the person is, maybe they show the owner, whatever it is. Then you go on LinkedIn. If they have an email on their website, just email a cold email template to that email and make it really compelling. When I first started out, gave everybody a 10% direct hire fee, which reminds me, in parentheses, don't mess with temporary hiring until you're 6 or 8 months into the business. So I would email them over a 10% direct hire fee, which is unheard of in the States. Like nobody charges that. So hopefully they immediately bite back and email you back. But if they don't, go on LinkedIn, find the decision maker and connect with them and add a note and say something like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I staff for these positions. Would love to connect with you about staffing for your company, blah, 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 blah. Put it under 250 characters or whatever, and basically just put it in there. And hopefully they connect back with you and respond to you. But here's the deal. You have to do this on a mass volume scale, right? So it's not 1, 2, 3. No, it's 100. Because we have to play a numbers game here, right? At the beginning of your recruiting agency, your process, you have to play a numbers game. And you have to have no fear of rejection, okay? So if you send out 100 of these touches, right, have no fear. Follow up with them, right? So once you go through that process, you basically connect with these people. Let's say someone responds back to you, okay? Once you get a response back, super good. That's awesome. If they want to learn more, perfect. You set up a warm phone call on their schedule, on their time, and you basically say, okay, I'd love to chat with you for 10 or 15 minutes. Let's talk about it. How about Monday at 2? Perfect. So you call them, you have a quick chat, and you basically discuss the positions they have available and then what's open. You tell them that you charge a 10% direct hire fee and that you collect that fee in 14 days. If they disagree with that, you say, okay, 30 days. You tell them that you give them a guarantee of 30 days, meaning if they're quit or fired, you have to then replace them within 30 days. And you explain all this stuff on the phone. You'll also put it in your contract, but you'll explain it all on the phone. Once they agree, you basically set up your contract, write all that information in your contract, put your name on the contract, their company name on the contract, blah, 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 blah. But bottom line is you have to get that contract signed by them, okay? A contract is worthless unless it's signed. And you never, ever, ever start searching for the jobs until you get that contract signed because you're going to waste your time, waste your effort. Trust me, I've been there. So once the contract's signed, you start your search. If you've got some dough, if you got some schmeckles, right? You go on Indeed.com and put up an ad that says warehouse worker, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Run it at like a $10 a day budget for 3 days, $30. And hopefully what happens is your inbox gets filled with a bunch of applicants. Then what you do is you screen the applicants. So you email them back and say, hey, John, your resume looked great. Would love to talk to you. And he'll say, perfect. Call me on Monday. So you call the guy on Monday. You do a quick phone screen with him. Check my channel. I've done a ton of videos about how to do interviewing. You basically ask them all the questions that the job description has. So undoubtedly, your client will give you a job description for that particular role. Pretty much all you do is repeat all the questions that are on the job description. Like, how many years do you have doing this job? What was your previous job? Do you have XYZ experience? Do you have ABC experience? Like, ask them simple questions. And basically, yeah, what's up? What's up, buddy? It is live time. So yeah, basically, ask them simple questions that are on their job description, otherwise known as a JD. I don't know if you guys all know that, but JD is job description. So you ask them all the questions, you qualify them, you make sure that they're legit, you make sure there's no red flags, they don't sound weird. This takes a while. You have to, this is an art. Reading people is an art. Understanding if they're of quality or if they're BSing you or whatever, this is an art. But eventually, once you actually find, like the perfect person or the couple few perfect people, what you do is you send them over to the client. You send their resume over and you say, hey, would you like to interview this 1, 2, 3 people? And they'll send you back a note saying, yes, I'd love to interview them. And basically, at that point, then you'll schedule interviews. So you'll act like a secretary, right? So you're the broker at this point. You're in the middle. And you're going to basically connect the times for the interviews. So John's going to interview at 2. Abe is going to interview at 3. And Jeff is going to interview at 4, whatever. And you get all these interviews set up. And you let everyone know where the time and the place is, right? I'm being really, really detailed here for you. So you guys better smash that like button because I'm going through my whole dang process. So the thing is, once you get all that set up, you're essentially kind of finalizing the process, because once they interview everybody, then it's pretty much a yay or a nay. So if they give you a yay, what happens is right away you ask them, all right, what time, what date do you want this person to start? And if, it's a start date that's workable for that candidate, then they start on that date. And then what happens is everything in the contract, you collect your fee 14 days after or 30 days after. And then you have a guarantee of 30 days or 45 days, whatever it is. And so that's how you get paid. And that's it. That's the end of the show. And normally during that entire process, you're working on other clients, other candidates, and it's not just that one client that you're working on. You're working on like 10 others and trying to get them set up, right? Because this is a volume business. You want to do a lot of stuff. And so you want to make as much money as possible, right? So naturally, you want to talk to as many clients as possible. So let's see here. Yeah, submitted a candidate, sales job Friday night, manager's response Saturday. I'm prepping the candidate right now. She interviews tomorrow. Sweet, awesome. You're not distracting, bro. No worries. Thanks for the step-by-step. Getting it uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, this will be uploaded to YouTube. The live will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can check it out and you can watch it again. It's Abby's. You're going to get the last question that I answer. When filling a placement, how do you ensure and check if the candidate is saying their qualifications are legitimate and true, so you don't recommend unqualified candidates to recruiters? The last part doesn't make sense, unqualified candidates to recruiters. But you mean to clients. You don't really. You ask them a lot of like heavy-handed questions, like hardcore questions, like, try to catch them lying, basically. So try to ask them like, hey, what experience do you have doing this? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Oh, okay. Can you tell me even more about that? And you just try to weed it out of them. It's an art. It's something you will learn over time. It's not something you have overnight. You've got to do it for quite a while. But inevitably, it's Abby's. You do send over some garbage candidates, and that does kind of suck. But yeah, it happens. Sam's last question. When do you send the invoice for payment? Is there a template for that? Literally Google free invoice generator and you'll find a template for setting up an invoice. And is there a proper time for when you send the invoice? The first day that candidate starts work with that company, you send over the invoice with the date that it is actually due. So as far as templates though, yeah, Google like free invoice generator or something like that. But once you get all fancy, you're going to have like QuickBooks or you're going to have some other system and it'll be or whatever, and you can utilize stuff to create other invoices. But normally it's just like a PDF that you download and then you email over to them for an invoice. So anyways, 16 people still watching. We went an hour long. I think we covered a bunch of stuff. If you haven't smashed the like, please smash the like. I would just truly appreciate it. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to be doing more lives, guys. I'm going to be doing a ton more lives. I'm going to start scheduling them out because I love answering your questions. Just give me that love, smash that like. It ranks this video up. It ranks my channel up. It helps everyone out because more people see this content and it just helps everybody. So long story short, thank you from the UK. Thank you from the USA. Thank you from everywhere. I will catch you guys for sure coming up here tomorrow with another YouTube video. So anyways, guys, peace for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next time.